I got it.
Okay. So I think if I go straight through here, I'll be.
Yeah, you still have to keep going straight. Yeah. You're good.
Sorry for all
No, it's good because there's a lot of people texting in the group chat too saying that they're running behind. I was just messing with the video, I mean not the videos and the photos that you were sending me
Yeah.
to add them on the presentation. So it's not too much words at all on the presentation. It's just gonna be us having flow.
Bet.
You want the members to like take out of this.
Okay.
And then we'll start off by introducing who you are.
Bet. Well, when we come to this event or the Houston or to?
Yeah, this event, like what makes you want to speak about
Okay.
science? Right here. Yes. Hi guys.
They will give you a ticket like that.
Hi.
Yo.
Let me stop. Hi you guys. So we are welcoming Ugo.
Am I right here?
Yes, you'll be sitting right there. Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome from University of Houston to the industry with Ugo and the Dress Code Club. So today we are going to be introducing who Ugo is and more about his insights in the industry and what he got from being a University of Houston student in law into now into the fashion industry. So to start it off, can you tell us a bit what brought you here today?
What's good, y'all? I came here because Michaela reached out to me, and the organization I have is so unique. When Chuck and I, that's my partner that we do a lot of art with, when we started doing this, there was no like blueprint, nobody that did something similar to us. So it was like we figured out everything every step of the way. And so now when it's an organization like this, it's pretty lit to be able to come and help in any way I can, give a piece of advice or talk about my journey.
And then what kind of insights would you say that you would want to give for these members here today that you didn't get as a student whenever you were here at University of Houston?
I think when you're in school, you learn everything like by the book, and there's like so many routes and so many other ways you can take things, and so I want to kind of tell y'all my story to kind of inspire you to think more outside the box when you're trying to be in fashion, trying to be in luxury, trying to be doing art at a high level.
So what title would you say you have in the industry right now?
I say I'm an artist. I mean, you kind of do a lot of things once you like get involved in design specifically. Like, so I started designing in 2018. The collection is probably somewhere on a slide deck, but I made a collection, and that was like, okay, I'm a designer, cool. Then after being a designer, I sent that collection out to people, and people was messing with my work, so they're like, yo, come style. And it's okay, now I'm a stylist. Then I'm like, okay, am I a designer or am I a stylist? Because I was styling way more. I stopped designing completely. And then people would hit me up like, yo, that video was so cool. Can you help me like creative direct my video? I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm a creative director. So you never really
Have your
are,
own sector.
yeah, one thing. You kind of just do art and try to make it as good as you can make it for whatever project you're involved in.
Being a University of Houston student, did you like leverage any resources within the University of Houston?
Yes, I still am. I think I didn't really have a plan of, okay, I'm gonna meet this person and do this, or meet, like, it's kind of organic. You have to like live, like, I think the whole luxury space is about like living in a frequency. And when you live in that frequency, people feel you, like people understand you. And that's kind of how I leverage my connections. It wasn't ever like planned or I'm gonna connect this way. It'd be let it come to me, let people understand. Whoever gets it, gets it. Whoever doesn't, doesn't. But if someone gets it, then we might spark a conversation. Then I always say, okay, like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Do you know anybody? Like, you know anybody that does this? You know anybody that does that? And then they'll point you to one person or the other. So, I got connected to, I was really career development office. And so they have a system where they are connected with alumni all around the world or all around America. So if you want to, say, live in a different city, you could be like, hey, go to the CDL and be like, yo, I'm thinking about being in Atlanta. Do y'all have any connections in Atlanta? And through that network, it's very easy because, hey, we have a law student that is interested in connecting with you in Atlanta. They're always going to want to connect. People always want to help if they know that you genuinely want to learn and want to get better. So that's kind of how I use the networking. You never know who in the school, like I know sometimes you might think like, okay, the dean is the person I have to get to or the whatever, but it might even be the librarian that might have like a unique connect or whatever. So I think just like in regular life, you never know how you're gonna get connected, but the same thing with school. It's like, yeah, you can utilize the school system and try to find who is who and try to get connected, but always just like keep in mind like the network that you get from school isn't just the obvious network, it's also just the regular network, like people in here and things like that.
And then for your personal skills, so what skills would you say that you gain within being like a student, also just in the industry so far, and what skills would you say that you would need to have in this type of industry?
Man, you gotta be able to like withstand like pain. Like people are gonna try you in so many different ways, like constantly too. So you have to be very like tough, very tough. You have to be organized. I think when I was styling, I was thinking the styling was about the clothes. Like, okay, yeah, I know what look cool. It'd be this with this and this. Yeah, that's easy. And then when I realized, oh no, the styling is not just about the clothes. It's about the relationships. It's about the timelines. Okay, we're gonna pull this piece of Balenciaga from 2008 for this person. Why are we pulling Balenciaga? Because this artist is trying to say this message. And when they're trying to say this message, then this is the brand that we want to work with. Okay, when you pull that piece, now it's like, okay, he has 5 shows. Which show is going to be the most impactful? Okay, now if we get this piece shipped here and they're saying that they need it back by next week, how are we going to make sure that we get him in the piece, rocking it, and get it back to them on time? Okay, now what if you have the piece and now the artist is like, he's an artist, so he might not want to wear the piece no more. So how do you handle that? Now, the team might want to have pictures of the artist in the piece. How do you make sure so it's like, you have to be really, really organized and structured and know what the artist wants versus what the brands want. You have to know exactly how to connect those two things together. So being organized is probably the most important skill that you need to have in the industry. I don't know if y'all have seen it before, but the red hat is like a symbol of going hard. It's like it's an art piece. So when I was in law school, I'm like, I had to find a piece, I had to design a piece that I felt like told the story of how I felt. And even though it was just one piece, I think I was really adamant on finding the right color, the right fabric, and the right way to present it. Those 3 things. And it's not like you can't just like wake up and, make something. Like you could wake up and just make something, but to really communicate and design, you have to, test it out. So this red hat, I probably went through about 6 or 7 rounds of sampling for about like 2 years. And the first time I made it with the goat skin leather. Then I'm like, okay, how about let's try it with lamb skin leather? Let's try it with calf skin leather. Okay, now all the times that you sample it, you want to wear it, you want to see how you feel, you want to see how it makes other people feel. But the red color was really important to me because number one, It's leading up to my collection, which is called Where the Roses Die, and I'm going to be using a lot of red in it. But at the same time, I feel like red is such a bright color. There's like, you can associate red with like pain, blood, with like attention, with like so many different things you can associate red with. So that was like, I'm here, hey, first product. Yeah.
Did you have to use any of like your knowledge within like law within your hat or any of your first project?
I think the skills that you learn in law are they're like super transferable, right? So one of the things that we do in the practice of law is to take like a large amount of information and make it very digestible for whoever we're presenting it to. So whether it's the client, whether it's the partner, whether it's for yourself, you have to figure out how to take this scenario and make sure that each person understands it to the level that they need to understand it. So I kind of apply those same principles with designing. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have some products that are for people that are really, really purists, like people that care about the craft, that care about the art very much. And I'm gonna have some products for people that are entry level, that just wanna be a part of the brand, that think it looks cool. So there's like levels of that, and I think law kind of helped me delineate those things and organize things in different facets. So my grandpa, when I was growing up, he used to tell me like, whenever you see the rainbow, do you know what that means? I'm like, nah, what does it mean? He's like, it means that God promised not to flood the earth again with water. And he constantly telling me that story, like every week, like my grandpa would tell me the same story. And so I'm like, yo, how can I just put a message from my grandpa out in the world in a way where I incorporate clothes. And so we actually shot like a video with my grandpa. And he told the story in Igbo that he used to tell me growing up. And we used colors of the rainbow and transformed them in a way where that they wouldn't look corny, but it was clearly colorful. So now, that was 6 years ago, I was in 2020. And now I'm like, okay, I don't want to call it collection one because I knew that collection one is supposed to be like, it's your first collection, so you should debut collection. So I'm like, when am I going to be ready for my debut collection? And while I was in law school, I'm like, okay, I think it's, it feels like it's time to do collection one. And this one is called Where the Roses Die. So this is about all the happiness, the joy, the fun experiences, but the pain that made me who I am now, like the experiences from law school, experiences with women, experiences with my friends and losing friends. And all those things kind of shaped me to be who I am today. And so that's what that collection is, based around.
Now I'm going to open the floor for any question and answers. Do we have any questions so far? Yes.
So, do you have any advice for someone who's considering trying to go into fashion law as a career specialty? And going to U of H Law Center, have you had any dabblings in that field of leveraging connections from your experience there?
There's not a blueprint or a built-in structure for people that want to do fashion and law. But what you can do is to try to get internships with certain organizations, right? I had friends that interned for the Museum of Fine Arts of Houston, things like that. So when they were interning there, they would do things like help draft contracts of getting art pieces loaned to the museum, getting designers stuff licensed, and so those are the more direct ways if you're in Houston. Other than that, it will be by just going to events centered around art that have people that control the city. That's the best way you can kind of get into it, but there's no built-in blueprint to do that, and that's kind of what I'm trying to trailblaze and the people I'm working with, they're trying to, map out. I think another thing is you don't necessarily have to have so much money to make an impact. Um, the Sometimes the most creative things and the most impactful things are made with like low budget or like on the fly things. So you don't have to, like build this whole bankroll then to do it. I mean, if you want to design a lot of pieces at once, yeah, that might be the best approach. But
Yeah.
you don't have to think about it as okay. I need to make money first to do this. If you kind of have a plan of what you're doing, like just like believe in that. That's probably the best thing I can say.
So, what was your first internship or job experience? And was it related to the field that you're in now? And when did you get it? Like, what year were you in college?
First internship in general or in
Yeah,
fashion.
in general.
I never had an internship, so that was one thing that was like I guess like weird about my pathway. Like I had like really good grades. I'd apply to all these internships. I never got one. My first, I guess like job in fashion was when I moved to LA.
How old were you?
I was I had just turned 22.
Whenever you're out there, how are you building your portfolio?
So building your portfolio is all about perspective, right? You have to just like it's just like writing a resume. You have to like find creative ways to explain what you did. Like when you write a resume, it's like okay, you sold whatever a house to somebody. It's like no, like I like negotiated terms of a deal. You have to find ways to like explain what you did. That's what people that are really successful in the industry do. They're able to communicate what they're doing on every project. And so if you don't have a project that is like worthwhile, I guess like you have to create your own project. You have to say, hey, you look really cool. I think you would look cool in this. Let's go shoot. Let's take pictures. Then you create your own thing. Like now that's part of your portfolio, and then from doing that, you get other random opportunities. But it's like a kinetic energy. Like if you don't use it, then it's all potential energy. It's just like here, but once it's flowing, then you get the next one. Then you get the next one. Then okay, slow season. Okay, let me create something else by myself, and then the dominoes just start falling like that.
Since you didn't have internships, I'm assuming like the way you made your connections was through networking. Do you have any tips on like how to successfully network?
Yeah, go to every single networking event that is present, but don't feel like you have to talk to everybody. So when I was first year of law school, I went to like every event, and the reason I did that was because I okay. So at first I would go to the event and I was trying to talk to like everybody. Like let me talk to like 15 people, 20 people, and then you realize like you're not gonna remember anything that anybody was telling you. Like like nobody actually cares if you're like talking to them for 10 seconds and moving on, moving on, moving on. At least that was my perspective. So I was like, how about I go to an event and instead of trying to talk to like everybody there, let me talk to like one or two people. And that whole time I'm gonna like chop it up with that one person as if we're like on a coffee date. Like this event's going on, but like me and you are in the bar, and we're talking about some real stuff, no small talk. We're talking about real life things, and at that point, it's like, oh, okay, hold on, like actually like align with your philosophy in a way. Maybe not fully, but there's a certain way that you align with people if you're able to connect with one person for a long time, there's a reason. Like just like at least how I think of stuff. And so now that person becomes like a real connection. Okay, Adam on LinkedIn. Time will go. So I always felt like, now there's no way I'm gonna be like well connected in this legal space. But I'll go to every event, every event, every event, every event. By the time you know it, you've been to 45 events in a year, right? And you met 45 people. So now it's like another event. It's like, why everyone's like, hey, yo, what's up, man? Like, you here? It's like, yo, I'm here. Like, and then other people are gonna be like, yo, like, why did they care that he's here? Like, this is a student. but it's because you actually like connected with that person. Like you weren't on some looking for opportunity right away. You weren't trying to like, you know, be weird. You just wanted to chop it up real quick, and that's like my best advice with networking. Just really be genuine. Don't try to talk to everybody because you're not gonna be able to connect with everybody. But if you try to just connect with one person every time, it adds up like it compounds.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming out tonight, and thank you, Ugonna, for coming out to speak and give us your insights about being a student and now just going into the industry. Yeah, get home safe, and thank you all for coming out.